Welcome to Bellevue's Work-Based Learning Program. Let's go over the BHS Work-Based Learning syllabus together. So that's down here, right here. I hope you guys had a good vacation. So this course is designed to assist students in developing the skills necessary to obtain employment and to learn and practice the skills and attitudes required for job success. Students will practice resume writing, job application completion, and interviewing techniques, including researching the business and industry they're interested in. Additionally, students will practice workplace problem-solving strategy and demonstrate skills required to work in a diverse environment. So the first standard is to develop strategies to make an effective transition from school to career. Okay, these are the competencies. Demonstrate the ability to create a resume and complete a job application, including a cover letter. And we're going to do these three things this first week. Examine the elements of an effective interview skills. We're going to do this also because you are going to line up an interview with your employer for next week. But you're going to line the interview up this week. We'll get more into that later. Determine appropriate professional appearance as required in the workplace, and evaluate appropriate professional behaviors as required in the workplace. So here's some important information. Seniors who have developed a clear career goal and taken the appropriate foundations courses may apply for this 2-credit, possibly non-paid work-based learning experience. You will work for 2 hours for one semester, 2 hours per week, 2 hours per day, 1 to 2 hours per day, 4 to 5 days a week for one semester. You have to work 120 hours to receive the 2 credits. Students will learn many different functions and aspects of the employer's business during their work-based learning experience. And students who complete the following will receive a satisfactory grade for work-based learning on their high school transcript. Required number of hours is 120 hours for 2 credits. You need to turn in your weekly hours logs. You need to turn in your monthly work-based learning journals, and you need to do the final presentation. So you'll be evaluated at the end of the first quarter of the work-based learning experience by your employer, and also again at the end of the second quarter of your experience. I'll be visiting your workplace at least 2 times during the semester, and here is my contact information, including my cell phone number, so you can text me. Forms that need to be completed, and we'll go over these today, but you have to have you and your parents have to sign the transportation permission statement, as well as the medical emergency form and the student parent employer agreement. You're going to fill out the work-based learning worksheet and establish 3 to 5 learning goals that you hope to accomplish while participating in the work-based learning program. And then you're required to complete a business supervisor student learning goals form. And we'll go over each one of those forms separately here shortly. Work to be completed during the work-based learning experience. First off, work-based learning students are required to turn in hour logs on a weekly basis. Take a picture of your log that includes your supervisor's signature and upload it to our Google Classroom. Let me see if I have the log. I do not. In a future lesson, we will go over the log. And then, you just take a picture of it, and you can either email it to me as an attachment, or you can send it as a picture message in a text message. In addition, students must keep a work-based learning journal, either in a notebook or as a Word document or a Google Doc that is turned in at the end of every month through our Google Classroom. The journal reflection that is submitted should be a minimum of 1 page per month. The work-based learning journal gives students the opportunity to reflect on their work-based learning experience. Journal topics may include the following. I really enjoyed whatever my favorite part of my work study is. I've been most surprised by. The most disappointing part of my work study has been. The skills I need to work on most include. My work study has helped me learn. Okay, and then the body of the report should be MLA style, and Times New Roman size 12 for font. Double spaced, remove the spacing before and after paragraphs. Should start off with your name, then class, then my name, and then the date. And then center the title, that comes next. and then indent each paragraph and run spell check for spelling errors. So work to be completed at the completion of the work-based learning experience. You're going to do a work-based learning final presentation. The presentation can be a PowerPoint or a Google presentation. Or it can even be a video, Prezi. It could be, you could use Canva to do it. Almost any medium, just ask me. We can make it work. This presentation will be presented to a group of people, which may include school board members, Bellevue administration, me, your work-based learning supervisors, and high school peers. The following items need to be answered in your presentation. First thing you're going to do is introduce yourself with a short bio telling who you are and your plans and goals for the future. Introduce your work-based learning employer. Explain why you have chosen to work in the career you're interested in and how your work-based learning experience helps you with future career decisions, like soft skills, decision-making skills, etc. And we'll go over that also in the future. Explain what you do or did for the business and tell about your job responsibilities, like what aspects of the work experience are interesting and which are not, and why. What did you like about the experience and what would you change? What was the most memorable aspect of the work experience and why? And what did you learn about the business and employees? What are 3 soft skills you used on the job and 3 soft skills you witnessed on the job that you used and you observed? What 3 job and personal skills are most important for your success? And how will your work-based learning benefit you after you graduate from Bellevue High School? Would you recommend that other students participate in our work-based learning program? Explain. And then after completing your work-based learning semester, where does this leave you with your future career goals? Here's a timeline at this moment. I do not have this finished. Basically, the first 7 days, we're going to be in the classroom. You are going to start your work-based learning experience on the Tuesday after Labor Day. Or if this is January, it'd be 2 weeks after the first 2 weeks of the semester, basically. Then in September, the beginning of October, the first week, you're going to submit your September journal entry. And this tells you what that one needs to be about. Right here, the first paragraph explain what in detail what you've been doing. The second one explain about the individuals you've been working with in your position, and then also explain what you've liked so far and what you have not liked. Okay, and then what also will happen in October is your first quarter employer evaluation will happen, where your employer will fill out an evaluation form about how you've been doing. In November, you're going to turn in your October journal entry. And then here is your journal entry. Okay, and then in December, the first week, you're going to turn in the November journal. And here's, these are all different things. I'm not going to go over them now, but these are all different things that you're going to talk about. Human resources will be in November, and then the topic for the journal entry for the November entry will be technical and production skills. This November one is for October. It's always from the month before. So then you're going to do your employer will do the final evaluation. You will create your final presentation and submit it and give it. You're going to make a handwritten thank you note to your employer. And you're going to your employer will do your second quarter evaluation. So then if you're doing second semester, we're going to complete the orientation at your work site for the first 2 weeks in January and beyond. And then here's your journal entry for January. I need to update this. Here's your journal entry for February. And here's your journal entry for March. And then I have some notes on ways that we can get more students involved, hopefully. But this right now is a rough draft and is subject to change. So that's the syllabus. So right here, it says we went over that. Now, please complete the Bellevue High School Work-Based Learning Student Pre-Work-Based Learning Worksheet Google form that's attached. So that's this. So pause this video and go ahead and fill this out to the best of your ability and submit it. Make sure you use good writing skills. Okay, when you're done with filling out the form, I'm going to have you print a copy of these forms and then get them signed and returned to me by next class, okay? So the transportation permission, medical emergency, and the COVID forms are right down here. Here's the transportation, medical emergency, COVID. Just click the links and then print, okay? Or just come to my classroom and I'll give you the copies that you need, okay? So those three can be signed by you and your parents and brought back to me next class. Number 4 here, you're going to print a copy of the following form. You and your parents and guardians should go over it together, sign it, and bring it back next class. Your employer will sign it next week in your interview. And it's the work-based learning training agreement signed by you, your parents or guardians, your employer, and the school official. And that looks like this. Okay, go over it, read it over with your parents. You and your parents fill it out to the best of your ability. Here's what you're signing off on. Here's what your parent and guardians are signing off on. And then read through the whole thing. You sign, have your parents sign and date, and bring it back to class next class. After that, please print a copy of the following form. Fill out your goals, sign it, and bring it back next class. You and your employer will go over it during your interview. You will bring it back to class after your interview, edit it according to what you and your employer decided, and then you will sign the final version. You will have your employer sign the final version, and then return the final version to me, which might be next week or the week after. And that's the BHS Work-Based Learning Business Supervisor and Student Learning Goals, which is signed by you and your employer. So that is right here. So you're going to fill out this top part and fill in what you think are some goals. Okay, and then you're going to take that with you to your interview, and then you and your employer will go over it during your interview as part of your interview. And then you'll come back and make editing changes to it, and then have print off a final version that you'll sign and your employer will sign, and then that will be the one that you turn in. And then next class, you'll have the opportunity to research the business you will be with for your work-based learning experience, and you will call them to request an interview for next week. So please right now get all these forms printed and signed and completed.